Hey guys, this is Jesse Saint, and welcome to episode 1 of my long-form reaction videos. This is for the month of May 2025, and this episode will include songs by Sleep Token, Ghost, Through Fire, Art of Dying, and Poppy. So we got 5 of them today, and just want to let you know that these long-form videos really help me out. So whether you want to just put them on in the background while you're working, or just kind of leave them on with the sound off, really helps me with watch time as I'm trying to get everything monetized on this channel. So thanks for sticking around. I appreciate it.
Jesse Saint World.
Hey everybody, welcome to Jesse Saint World. I'm a touring musician. I spent about 20 years on the road. I also worked for a couple different labels and A&R, signed about 30 or 40 bands over the years. Today we're going to do a reaction video for Sleep Token. So this song, I know this is probably like pretty late, a couple weeks after everybody else has done one, but Caramel is their newest song, and from what I'm hearing, everybody's saying that it's way heavier than everything else. And I did hear a little bit of the autoplay when it first came out, but I didn't hear anything heavy. So obviously, I didn't make it to that part of the song. So let's go ahead and start out. Xylophone. Oh, and also today we will be doing the lyric video. I actually want to hear what he's saying, and since this is an English band and he has a bit of an accent and also a little bit of a weird diction, it's kind of hard to understand what he's saying. So to kind of understand what's going on in the song lyrically, I just kind of want to see what he's saying.
Count me out like sirens, payback for the good times. Right foot in the roses, left foot on a landmine. I'm not gonna be there, tripping on the...
Now, I don't know much about this band, but from what I've heard is Vessel, the singer, is some kind of god or god type, archon type figure, right? And supposedly he's dying or is going to die, so that the lyric right there, I'm not going to be there. I imagine if you're more tuned in to this band's story, you would know what all that's about. But I did hear a little bit, so I know a teensy bit about this band. I don't know the full story of their gimmick.
Grapevine, they can sing the words while I cry into the baseline. Wear me out like Prada, devil in my detail. I swear it's getting harder, even just to exhale. Backed up into corners, bitter in the lens. I'm sick of trying to hide it every time they take mine. So stick to me, stick to me like caramel. Walk beside me till you feel nothing as well. They ask me, is it going good in the garden? Say I'm lost but I beg no pardon. Up on the doors below on the cards, I try not to talk about how it's harder now. Kinda getting mirrors on stage, looking sideways. Some of your bizarres getting worse every time they try to shove a real name just to get it worse from me. Acting like
The Garden of Eden. So nice callback to one of their earlier songs. Like I said, I don't know a ton about this group, but I've heard the popular ones that are on streaming.
I guess that's what I got from 2020 hindsight. Everybody wants eyes on them. I just wanna hear you sing that top line. You think I mean it, then I understand, but I'm still glad you came. So let me see those signs. To me.
Hide in the Limelight. That was a good lyric. There's tons of good lyrics in here so far.
Stick to me like caramel. Walk beside me till you feel nothing as well. I'm falling free off the vinyl parallel.
Moving up a whole step in the middle of a chorus. That's kind of different. chord changes. I dig it.
So I'll keep dancing along to the rhythm. The stage is a prison, a beautiful nightmare, a war of attrition. I'll take what I'm given, the deepest incisions. I thought I got better, but maybe I didn't.
The stage is a prison. Is touring that rough for you guys? Seems like you're getting paid pretty well by now. That's what, okay. So that's obviously what everybody's talking about. I keep seeing that everybody's doing a reaction video for this song, but they're saying how heavy it is. I'm like, not from what I heard. Halftime in 4/4. That's pretty normal for this band. All these guys can play, obviously, but their drummer is absolute insanity. Obviously, nobody knows who these guys are, minus maybe a couple things on the internet. But the drummer is absolutely insanely good, and it sounds to me like he grew up playing in some kind of worship. I don't know what religion, maybe some kind of Christian kind of church band or something like that. Because this sounds like extremely over-the-top drumming that somebody would do in like a worship kind of setting.
The stage is a prison, a beautiful nightmare, a war of attrition. I'll take what I'm given, the deepest incisions. I thought I got better, but maybe I didn't. The stage is a prison, a beautiful nightmare, a war of attrition. I'll take what I'm given.
So essentially this song is a lullaby. It's written in lullaby, and then he's also referencing lyrically to nightmares, dreams, stuff like that. It all fits together extremely well, and a little similar to Bring Me Back to Eden, some of that kind of stuff. As far as super heavy, I don't know if I'd call that super heavy. Maybe for this band.
I thought I got better, but maybe I didn't.
Oh, sorry. I thought they were going to go super heavy or go into some kind of other breakdown. So I will say, when it comes to Sleep Token, I'm not super huge on the band because I'm not a gigantic fan. But from what I've heard so far, this song is pretty cool. It sounds like they're advancing per album. And although it's, all the piano and stuff like that, I love piano. I write a lot of that kind of stuff in the metal and rock that I've done, but more atypical kind of stuff. This band I wouldn't say is my jam overall. That song was cool. But I will say it kind of makes sense if you think about it. Unfortunately, a lot of people, especially in America, are not huge fans of America right now. So a super huge metal band from overseas kind of makes sense for them. Along with the fact that all of this is atypical. Every single thing that they're doing in these songs is stuff that would definitely make it to where you wouldn't get it on the radio, typically. Obviously, they're played on Octane and stuff like that. But yeah, regularly, when I've worked for labels and stuff like that, if somebody sent me this, I would say cool niche. They could probably make it big on their own, but definitely not commercial. But now it is commercial. All right, thanks guys. Thanks for hanging out. Today we're going to be doing a reaction video for a band called Art of Dying. These are friends of mine. I've actually done some shows with them. I know I've done quite a few big festival dates. It's a radio rock band. But I do remember we played Alaska one time. That was pretty cool. This song is brand new. It's called, I was about ready to say The Ocean. Just Ocean. Let's check it out.
He was a young man trying to understand, carving a path, trying not to look back, but there were times he couldn't resist. Torn by the fringes, like a door without hinges.
Already a perfect build-up, especially for radio rock. So the big thing when you're building a song like this, if you're a musician out there, and I've been in like 19 different bands as a hired gun, most of which, a couple metal bands, but most of which were kind of this kind of style, is you really want to start out with just a couple of stacked vocals and then move into harmony piece. Now, this band right here has an amazing backup singer and lead singer, so I'm imagining this is only going to grow into a huge chorus with, you know, thirds and fifths and seventh harmonies above and below the natural vocal.
So hard to gauge, some days didn't want to exist. He knelt by the bed, closed his eyes and said, I feel like an ocean looking up to the sky.
I guessed it. So yeah, it sounds like there's definitely some octaves, a seventh, maybe a third, and a fifth. This is the type of song, the style of song where it was probably written around this chorus, meaning they had an awesome idea for a bunch of harmonies and then this big, huge radio rock chorus, and then I'm guessing that the song got pasted in around this idea, because that's an awesome chorus so far.
Sky, void of devotion, taking no sides. Down in the darkness, the deepness, the abyss inside. I feel like an ocean.
That was clever, the abyss inside. You actually could understand the word abyss. So I've tried to use the word abyss. I have used the word abyss in lyrics in a ton of different songs, and it's really hard to sing it loudly and people be able to understand what you're saying, the diction involved. It's easy to warble abyss and but this guy has extremely good diction. His enunciation is on point. Like I said, these guys are awesome. If you haven't heard them or seen them live, definitely check them out.
Up to the sky, down in the hallway.
So that sounded like a flat third, like I'm going from not major, but they're just playing power chords, so there's no implied minor third to make it minor until that little point. I think it's super cool in choruses when people play your regular 4 chords, pretty standard, and then later shift something strange underneath the vocals. That was really cool right there.
Not sure why he felt shame. What did he do? Why was he so moved by the path with the most resistance? Sang like a choir boy, alone in the alley, kicking up dirt to cover the hurt. Could he find the strength to go the distance? I feel like an ocean.
Kind of gives off a little bit of Shinedown-ish kind of vibes. I know that this band is Canadian, so also a little bit of Theory of a Dead. Are they just called Theory now? Theory of a Dead Man. Anyway, you know what I'm talking about.
Looking up to the sky for the devotion, taking no sides. Down in the darkness.
Now, I will also say, I haven't checked it out yet, but there's also a vocals-only version of this, a cappella. So if you guys want to check it out and kind of hear the harmonies in there, this is really a music lesson on how to create giant harmonies that fit really well into a big radio rock type chorus. I mean, it doesn't get much better than that. That is a lot of really well done vocals that are not overly auto-tuned. That sounds like somebody can sing the damn thing and they just nailed it.
The deepness, the abyss inside. I feel like an ocean looking up to the sky. Now in his 30s, he buries his worries in bottles of wine. Pretends to have a good time with a monster still living under his bed.
kind of a crack on Alcoholics, which this band's been around for a long time. Like I said, I've done some shows with them. That was a funny little poke. And like I said, I'm looking at the video, so I'm staring at the lyrics right now. But if I wasn't, I would understand every single thing the guy's saying. Like I said, great enunciation here.
Closes his eyes, grips his hands tight, whispers those words as he bows his head.
Ooh, little sweeping, little arpeggio in there in a Radio Rock song. That's cool. Really, he's sweeping up into what it sounds like is getting ready to start a solo. Here, let's check that out again.
Whispers those words as he bows his
Just a little arpeggio sweeping up into a solo. That was super cool at the end. Yeah, really way to kind of throw it into left.
Point of devotion, taking the signs. Down in the darkness, the deepness.
That was cool too. A little layered classical guitar harmony, kind of a little classical flair in the middle of a Radio Rock song.
This inside, I feel like an ocean, looking up to the sky. I feel like an ocean, looking up to the sky. Void of devotion, taking no sides. Down in the darkness, the deepness, the opposite side. I feel like an ocean, looking up to the sky.
And I feel that was a masterpiece in vocal layering right there. Very good song. Obviously, when it comes to Radio Rock, nothing super crazy on the instrumental stuff, except for the fact that they had layered classical guitars in there. They went minor in the middle of a major chorus. A lot of cool stuff there. I dig it. Like I said, that is Art of Dying, and definitely go check out their other songs. They've been around for, I don't want to guess, 10, 15 years. They've been around for a long time. And once again, another masterful song. I'm going to be doing a reaction video for the band Ghost, and the song is titled La Karma, the new Ghost song. How about that? New Ghost. Okay, first 5 seconds, it already looks awesome. The imagery and everything is super creepy, so everything fits so far. Sounds like a pretty chill song, at least starting out. Rocking the strap body. This is kind of old school metal. Totally threw me from the beginning. Yeah, see how it goes.
Like a vampire should, and it takes one to know him, like I knew you would. In the middle of the night it beats, in the middle of the night it eats you.
So that was a little minor third. If it sounded like something strange over the top of it, like a diminished flat 5, something like that. Strange. Although the bass player has a pretty easy job, I would definitely join this band. Just go dun dun dun. It's pretty simple so far. Must be a pre-chorus. That was a strange harmony. Okay, here we go. Here's the super 1980s kind of big power chorus. Now, I have to admit, one of the signed bands I was in, oh God, I'm trying to think of the name of the song. We did kind of the same, almost the same kind of video a lot of bands have of this whole graveyard scene. I have to say, this is done extremely well. Definitely this band put some money into it. It looks legit so far. As far as the sound, it's pretty Ghost, you know, nothing crazy out there so far.
Now the sweet's gone sour, seeping down the cracks, getting worse by the hour. The fire attacks. In the middle of the night it beats. In the middle of the night it eats you.
Now that piece right there sounded like harmonic minor. It sounded like a minor third, and I don't know. It's hard to tell without a guitar right away, but very strange in the second verse. I like that little passage though.
Everybody knows. Everywhere I go, I can never run and I cannot hide. I'm done.
Yeah, that pre-chorus is super strange. All of his choices, his note choices are kind of strange and out there. It sounds like he's almost going for like a diminished kind of harmonic minor tone.
Over someone like you. I'm done crying. Hope you're feeling.
So just theory-wise, whenever you do add something in harmonic minor, Hungarian minor, or just a natural Aeolian minor, just a flat third, and then go into a power chorus like this, which is just all majors, just power chords, pretty standard 70s, 80s kind of rock, it definitely gives you a huge shift or jump. So think about that when you're songwriting. If most bands that are rock or metal don't ever play them in major, which gives you that super happy kind of tone right there. But when you do compare it to a minor tone right before, it's going to give you kind of a head changing kind of, whoa, what just happened kind of thing. So it is cool when bands do this. Is nobody really ever plays a major, so it's odd to hear harmonic minor and then major. Little harmonized Thin Lizzy kind of minor third solo. That's cool. It also sounds like they're in standard tuning, that's super weird. I mean, most bands nowadays in rock and metal are tuned down extremely low, even more than nu metal. So to hear somebody on a Fender Strat or some kind of Strat bodied guitar playing in standard tuning is kind of odd nowadays. Knowing lead singers and being a hired gun and touring a lot of different bands, I have to say it's odd to me that every lead singer doesn't have like wings or something weird. It's the ego. So I mean, it's kind of crazy that he just had some kind of bat wings or something. That looked cool.
Everybody knows. Everywhere I go,
I like the callback. I like the fact that they're playing a little bit of lead guitar in between the vocal stuff. It definitely gives off, because of the harmonic minor, in case you guys don't know that scale, Avenged Sevenfold. They use it in everything. So this gives off a very like light Avenged Sevenfold kind of vibe.
Over someone like you, I'm done crying. Hope you're feeling it too now. I'm done crying.
Love the giant, ridiculous drum set to play one beat throughout the song. It looks cool, at least.
I'm done crying over someone like you. I'm done crying. I need somebody new now. I'm done.
Cool little visual at the end. I definitely have to say, so for Ghost, it sounded like Ghost. That's kind of what they do. They do the 70s kind of rock stuff with a little bit of 80s feel. If you told me right now that I'm lying and that this wasn't Ghost and instead this was like an Alice Cooper song, I would totally believe you. Sounds like it could have been from that 1980s Alice Cooper-y kind of vibe. It's cool. I don't know if anything goes on here at the end. Yeah, just fading out the video. Wow, they have credits. You know, you spend money on a music video when you have to have like 70 freaking people that were involved. Yeah, cool though. So yeah, overall, great video. Kind of what I expected musically, but they used some cool stuff in there. Would I jam that one? Probably not. But I mean, if I heard it on the radio, I'd probably leave it on. Pretty cool. Today we're going to be doing a little bit of reaction videos. Now this song is older. It's Poppy. What is this? New Way Out. So the reason why I'm doing this and I'm a little late on it is because honestly, I heard this song once or twice and then I kind of forgot about it until this holiday week, because obviously it's WrestleMania coming up. So if you are a fan of wrestling, then you've probably heard this song about 50,000 times. Like legitimately. The last couple times I watched wrestling, they just played the song over and over. But I only heard just basically the chorus or just the very first part of the verse. So hearing the song in its entirety, will be new for me. So let's go ahead and check it out. Now, I was also on the same label with this band, Sumerian. Sumerian pumps out really good material. I'm sure the song is great. But I don't really know this artist very well. As far as Poppy, I've heard her song With Knocked Loose and a couple other things she's done, but I don't know her catalog. You know what I'm saying? So let's go ahead and give it a listen. Let's check it out. Sounds like drop C tuning. Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun. Pretty sure that's a Disturbed riff. Or at least it's extremely close. I don't have a guitar right in my hands, but yeah, that sounds like Disturbed. Hey, maybe she grew up listening to Disturbed. It's pretty darn close. Didn't want to stop it that quickly, but yeah. So they started out with a Disturbed kind of riff. It sounds like it's in C, maybe C sharp minor. Now, as soon as the vocals came in, visually, I think you just saw me make a weird look on my face, so I figured I'd explain myself. Now, I'm not huge on the Linkin Park catalog. I know Linkin Park songs. That is almost directly the exact same, not lyric, but exact same melody line from an old Linkin Park song. If I figure it out later, I'll put it down in the description, but that is like literally the same key, almost the exact same thing as a very old Linkin Park song. Not a super huge, I'd know if it was one of the Paper Cut or something like that, but that melody line, yeah, that was kind of a rip on Linkin Park.
Always trying to consume me. cannot let it in. They'll take my everything. Believe me, nothing I've lost or feeling. No, I don't wanna bend to my own loneliness.
Love the double pre-chorus. Not enough bands nowadays even use pre-choruses, honestly. It's a really great way to set up the chorus. Now, like I said, this isn't a reaction video where I haven't heard at least a part of it. I know I've heard part of this chorus coming up, but that setup was wonderful. And also the video, everything, like I said, I was signed to Sumerian as well. I know we use the exact same videographers, but they do an awesome job. This looks really, really stellar.
Own loneliness. I'm trying to become the
Sounds like a 1-5-6-4 progression in C or C sharp. Like I said, I'd have to really standard. I mean, if you want to write radio rock and you want to do stuff like this, it's pretty much all the exact same chord patterns in almost every single song. And I'm not making fun because I've been in a ton of bands that had albums where almost every chorus is the exact same chord patterns. So not a knock, just saying this is the one chord pattern that everyone. Cool lyrics. The silence screams so loud part was pretty cool. Like I said, the chorus is awesome. It's just the way the song started out was blatant Linkin Park. Okay, I think I get it. I'm probably gonna get this word wrong. Interpolation this is the buzzword that everybody's wanting to use for basically how you can rip off another song completely, verbatim, and still be able to put it out and make money off of it. It's kind of funny. I kind of like her. I kind of like her more now that I just heard that little piece. So they are ripping off a Disturbed riff. And then they just did which is a Disturbed thing in it. So if you're listening to this song, you're like, I think she's kind of ripping some people off. They are, but at least they know it because they just told you by also doing the Disturbed vocal thing during the bridge. I don't know. You guys let me know how you feel about people doing stuff like this. I mean, is it cool for somebody to do a C riff that sounds like Disturbed and then go in the middle of it and use a vocal line that is verbatim? Like I said, I'll figure out the actual Linkin Park song and put it below. I can't think of it off the top of my head. But yeah, this is all artists borrow from other artists. I myself have a thing whenever I record songs and come up with new material where I don't listen to stuff like this or like what I'm writing while I'm doing it, because you'll have the tendency to kind of steal from the stuff you're hearing without even thinking about it subconsciously. So, but there's nothing subconscious about this. Straight up put a Disturbed scream right after a Disturbed riff. So let me know what you guys think about people borrowing stuff out of older songs. Killer drum fill into the third chorus and then stopping all the music and letting it go a cappella for the first line of the chorus. And the third chorus is super popular and is always very impactful. Now, I do love how it just did a little death metal at the very end. So it seems like they were doing this song, kind of just to show that not only did they kind of borrow from a couple different bands, but it's obvious. They're not trying to hide it, So yeah, let me know down in the comments. What do you think of a song like this? Is it cool for you to write your own song and maybe put a line from another famous song in it? That's pretty normal. Or doing someone's exact scream or someone's exact guitar sound, exact guitar trick out of something else. Let me know. All right, have a good one, you guys. Today we're going to be doing a reaction video. It's going to be a little bit of an older song, but this is a new channel, so I am going to be going backwards and checking out some songs that are older that I haven't got a chance to check out. And this one is a special one. This band today, quit moving the mic around. This band today is a band that used to be, I would say, probably one of the best bands ever. Because I was in it. Didn't. So anyway, this is the band Through Fire. I don't know if any of you guys have heard them. Radio rock band, had quite a few hits. Now, obviously, I was in the band. I've played all the songs a million times. But this particular one is, I believe, the last one they put out. It's called Dead Winter. And this one, I believe, is their last song. They're taking a break for a while as a band. So we started this band in like 2015. So I think it's about right at the 10-year mark. But I don't know what to expect. Honestly, with this band, I was in two different bands that basically had two different names. It was the same band, Emphatic and Through Fire. And this could be anything from a power like rock ballad to a heavy song with screaming. Absolutely no idea. Let's go ahead and check it out. Kind of sound like there's a whammy pedal or something there. There's a cool little guitar line in that first heavy riff. Sounds like it's dropping straight into vocals.
We'll never feel alive when we're buried underneath the avalanche. We're buried underneath all of.
This is kind of a going theme in radio rock, where you start out a song by dropping out all of the music, and then starting in with vocals, usually just one single vocal with a backup, and then usually an octave down mixed in. And then about halfway through your second line, or going into the third line, is when you start adding in the minor, the flat third, minor third harmonies in. Sometimes you can put some weird harmonies in there, like a fifth or a seventh, and kind of stack it. But this is pretty standard radio rock so far. So you've got a big harmony part. Sounds like it's going to build up into a big gigantic chorus. Most of these songs do. So let's see how it goes.
Buried underneath all of your lies. Maybe we're out of time. Maybe we'll never find.
Like the double time. I like the layered screams in there. Honestly, that's pretty new for this band. They don't usually layer a ton of screams. Usually just one single scream kind of put in there. Nice layering, nice recording so far.
Buried underneath all of your lies. In a love so cold, like the dead of winter. Because of you, there's ice in my soul. Is this what you wanted? A love so cold, like the dead winter.
But I like the chorus. I'm a big fan of going halftime with the drums and choruses. Allows you to hear a little bit of the enunciation within the singer, being able to tell what they're saying. And then they're starting to go back into full time from halftime, so which kind of gives you that feeling of you're like climbing. If you're going hiking, you're slowly climbing up. It's slow, and then it starts to pick up, and then it'll probably jump back into, I believe it was double time in the verse. Let's check it out. But so far, the chorus, it's cool. Definitely some cool vocal stuff in there. The way that Grant's wording everything. Musically, pretty standard 4-chord.
No one can rescue you, no one can rescue me. We're both too far gone to dig ourselves out of this grave. Is this what you wanted? To lie where you lay in a love so cold.
Surprised there's no pre-chorus there, but that was cool. I like how it jumped right back in. So this song, once again, is kind of, if anything, a vocal lesson in how you build a song from scratch, from the verse, building up to a really thick layered chorus. Most of these type songs, when you're talking about rock and metal, you're talking about. I mean, I know it sounds to you guys out there, if you haven't recorded albums before, that this is a awesome singer singing one track. It's probably about 14, anywhere from 10 to, I've seen. Depends on how many vocal lines there are, especially if there's a bunch of ad libs and weird stuff in the middle. But that's probably about at least 10 stacked harmonies, and it sounds great. Like I said, it's kind of the way you want to do things for this kind of style, which is radio rock, active rock. I hate to call it the butt rock, which is a lot of people use that word. I never use that phrase. Just active rock, radio rock. So. Super new metal. That's kind of new for this band. So kind of your atypical going into a breakdown, lo-fi guitar, new metal. Sounds like it's out of the key of B minor. It was cool. Super simple. I mean, it's just a minor pentatonic mixed with a couple of notes out of Aeolian. Sorry. Natural minor scale. So pretty standard chorus. He's just kind of noodling underneath of the vocal line building up. But it was a good shift upwards rather than using like a piano note or something else to kind of rise and lift up. And adding a bunch of ad-lib, extra high singing stuff into a third chorus is always the way to make it sound really thick and fat. And it's boring. You've already heard the chorus twice, so why not add a bunch of new stuff to kind of give ear candy towards your final. Well, it looks like there's a little bit of It's hard for me to tell, but pretty sure back when I was in the band, I worked on a song with him kind of like that. It was cool. I definitely dug it. Sounds like a hit. Pretty standard, nothing crazy going on in the music to kind of shift things around. 4 chords, kind of power rock kind of stuff. If you guys like this band, I believe they have one more. I think they're kind of done as a band, but I believe they have one more show. So definitely, they're called Through Fire. Go check them out online. Pretty sure that they're everywhere. And check out that final show because, like I said, great band, been around for about 10 years. I don't think they said that they're calling it quits, per se. But they're not going to be touring. I think they're just going to be putting out some songs. So anyway, thanks for listening, guys, and have a great one.
Jesse.